glad you're here. Thank you for joining us this evening. There's a special thanks to Through a Child's Eyes, without whose assistance this evening would not be possible. I want to take care of a few housekeeping items before we get started. First and foremost, the restrooms are in the back adjacent to the Anaconda exhibit. As you see, it's kind of dark in here. There's going to be lights all through the tour. There's some darkness also to entice the spirits. Our artifacts here are priceless, and we consider them one of a kind, and some are very fragile. So please don't touch anything. As always, if you have a question at any time throughout the evening, please ask. And one more thing, you all should have a flashlight when you checked in. Some of you may be aware that some paranormal investigators came in about a year ago or so to spend their night at the museum, setting up their equipment, and they found several hotspots where there's spirit activity. One of them is over in the corner here, by that Union officer's Civil War uniform. So let's check all our flashlights by shining them on that corner and see if we can tell the spirits we're here.
Nice.
It looks like they're working. Thank you much. And now we begin. Howdy, folks. I'm Deputy Sheriff P.C. Lyon of Yerington, and this is 1912. Exciting things are happening here lately, but I'll start at the beginning. Well, I'll skip the first 4 billion years. Our story starts on August 6th, 1871, when a post office was established here under the name Mason Valley. For the next 20 years or so, Mason Valley was interchangeable with a couple other names that people were pushing that we change it to. One is Pies and Switch, and that was due to the inferior whiskey sold in town. The other, let me think for a minute, Greenfield. And they actually did at one point try to change the name to Greenfield, but we're told there's already too many Greenfields in this state, in Nevada, go figure. But one name that came up and stuck, Yerington. So on February 6, 1894, the city was officially changed to Yerington, named under H.M. Yerington, and his son, James A. Yerington. They're both prominent figures in Nevada history. Also, there may have been a bit of flattery there because at the time, H.M. Yerington was president of the Colorado and Carson Railroad, and we were pushing to get a rail spur through here. It worked because we did get the Northern Copper Belt Railroad. Last of the Comstock lode mines closed in 1878. Don't worry, folks, there won't be a quiz later. The final straw for Yerington came in 1909 when their courthouse burned down. And the good folks here in Yerington decided that that would be a good opportunity to push to relocate the county seat. And it worked. In 1911, the state assembly voted to relocate the county seat here in Yerington. And you may have noticed on your way here a freshly built courthouse, finished in 1912. And also moved here was sheriff's office and other county services. And excuse me while I refer to our notes. One thing for sure, Mason Valley holds a rich history for the valley and many families in the community, some of which are still here. Today you have a unique opportunity for Night at the Museum Mystery Flashlight Tour. We believe that many of our artifacts have a story to tell. and we suspect some of them might be trying to tell us. There's strange noises now and then, and we believe suspected spirit activity. I don't mean to scare you all, so if you're feeling paranoid, don't worry, you are not alone. The room that we're standing in now was a Seventh-day Adventist church. Moved on here in a few years, actually 1915. But many of our buildings have been relocated from elsewhere, from as close as across the street to as far away as Pine Grove or vicinity, 20 miles away. And you'll have an opportunity to see that. So, let me get you started on our next segment, which is getting you in your tour groups. When you checked in, you were given a ticket. One is for Phantom Footsteps, and the other one is Whispers in the Dark. And I'm going to introduce.
If you look at your flashlight, you'll either have a foot. You will be with Anne, Phantom Footsteps, and if you have a Whispers in the Dark, you are over here. And why don't you move over here? You'll come over here. Okay.
So our sheriff talked a little bit, but strange sounds, moving, things that have moved around sometimes when it's closed, footsteps, all these different things have been seen and heard by volunteers at the museum and occasionally even people who attend the museum. So about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, the Viper Paranormal people came and wanted to stay in the museum. They spent the night in this main part and they were doing some investigation, and they decided that yes, there are some ghostly people or spirits or whatever that come and visit the museum. So keep those flashlights ready, because in case you get a chill up your spine or something, you can ward them off with your flashlight. You'll have to decide if you're a skeptic or if you believe in spirits. So play along maybe. In this main room, they did capture, the paranormal people captured some orbs who showed up in the wee hours of the morning. And so we'll learn more about some of the other places where they were active. So that's all I have. I think we're going to enjoy. Now Anne will tell us a little bit more.
So these, which is electronic voice phenomena and digital voice recorders, actually recorded orbs floating in this room, and this ghostly activity then were recorded, and they recorded a woman's voice saying, "I'm right here," and then breathe. But not all ghosts are scary. In fact, during one of the paranormal activities, a male voice, when asked to present himself, said, "Idiot." So, setting all that aside, we can see why there might be a lot of paranormal activity in the museum, because there's so much history here and so much to be seen. In fact, right behind me here is a box that George Washington was said to keep his cash to pay the soldiers in. So you can learn more about that if you come to the museum when we're open.
And with that being said, we're going to let the tour begin. If you're a Phantom Footstep, please follow Anne. And if you're a Whisper...
You're not going to do a story, are you?
Yeah, we have to make the vacation.
Interest.
Have a fun tour.
Our first stop, if you'd like to walk around, you can do whatever. This is the Hillicus gas station, which I think opened in 1940 by the Hilligas people, family, and it lasted until 2002, 60 years. And maybe some of you that know, it was right on that vacant lot there. Now it's vacant because they moved it over here. Kitty corner from the Wells Fargo Bank. And did any of you know Mrs. Hilligas? Or served her? So see, I wasn't living here then, but what other people have said is that she was so nice. It was a full service gas station. It had a pump machine, which we didn't get the pump machine because something happened there. But she was, maybe so. But she was beloved, and she ran the gas station by herself after her husband died for a while. Then her son was going to take it over, and he was discouraged from that because Texaco wanted to come in, and they had all these new environmental rules they'd have to do. They wanted to put in a mini mart, make it big, and so I think his name is Ed Hilligas, just said, you know what? This service station served us well. We're just gonna close it down. And that's what they did. And so then, look how small it is compared to what we're used to now. But this worked for them, and sometimes I miss full service. I'm old enough to remember full service, and I'm like, once in a while, I would be willing to pay for this.
Just drive up and say,
Fill it up. Yeah, and then you can get your windshield wiped, your oil checked.
yeah, that was nice.
It was, they did. You didn't have to pump. You just sat in your car and enjoyed the view. So
Conversation.
yeah.
Every
So
time I ever went, they always had to talk while they was out there working that window.
yeah. Well, and think how they knew everyone in the community.
Right.
Right.
Somebody told me it was the first Texaco station in the state of Lyon.
Oh, that could be. That could be.
I don't know how true it is,
Yeah.
but that's what
So, anyway. Well, I think our blacksmith is calling us, so we can go next door here.
The blacksmith.
Finishing up and stuff there.
Can we come in, sir?
You can come on in here. I think we can all fit in here. Come on in. My guest. Oh,
All right, you're the
what that
star.
thing is, but
One of those newfangled
it's
machines.
one of those newfangled inventions, huh?
That's right.
Come on in. We can get cozy in here. How's everybody? Well, I want to thank you for stopping in. The blacksmith shop gets pretty lonely sometimes. It's a stinky, hot, messy place. I don't get much company, so I'm very thankful to have company. I'm also very thankful that I got the place cooled down a little bit. I was making horseshoes in here this morning, and it was hotter than the hubs of hell in here. I tell you what, I was sweating like a call girl in church there for a little while. But I got it cooled down now, and I think it feels pretty good. So, well, I wasn't around in the 1800s. You can look around here, and you can see a lot of the tools, a lot of the equipment that you see in there was very much like what was used in the 1800s. Back in the day, and even today, the blacksmith was one of the most important people in the area. When it came to having the need to design and make and repair things out of metal, the blacksmith, or the smithy as they were often called, was real critical to the welfare of the community. When it came to making things, for example, like wagon wheels, wagon rods, metal hinges, pots, pans, you name it, the blacksmith was the key person in the area. And in fact, one person said one time that blacksmiths don't just forge tools, they forge communities. Now, one of the industries that benefited greatly from the blacksmith was the farming and ranching. Blacksmith made metal gates, metal chutes, made all kinds of things for the ranching and farming industry, plowshares, you name it. But one of the most important things that the blacksmith made was branding iron. For those of you that don't know much about a branding iron or what it's used for, this is what one looks like. I made this one yesterday. The way the branding iron works is you get a really hot fire going, like you can see those coals in that pan over there. You put that branding iron in there. Wait till it gets red hot. You pull it out and you apply it to the hide of the animal. Most of the time it's cattle, but some people will use them on horses and other animals too. Well, back in the 1800s, it was critical that if you had livestock, that you marked it somehow, because there was always somebody looking to steal your livestock from you, so the brand was critical. This one was made for a man named William Sturgis. If you look over here on the wall, you can see the handiwork of a lot of the branding irons I made, but this one was made for Mr. William Sturgis, cattleman from over in Gardnerville. Now, there's kind of a little story that goes with this one. I made it yesterday, and it's kind of funny now, it wasn't at the time, but I got a little careless yesterday, and when I was making this thing, I got a little bit close to it, and that's what this is on my hand. I'll tell you what, I found out why those cattle bellow the way they do.
Yeah.
Right. There was a little period of time there when I thought I was gonna wet my pants, I was in so much pain. Yeah, I'll tell you. But anyway, that's the thing. But that's, you can see every ranch had its own design, and that's how they mark their cattle. Anyway, my name is Frank Matthews. I was born here, right here in Yerington on January 1st, 1913. I attended the old creamery school down here. And then after that, I went to Yerington High School, and I graduated from there. Then I made my way up to the University of Nevada, Reno, where I earned my degree in engineering. I was born to Joseph and Maria Gomez Matthews, and my dad taught me the blacksmithing business. So I feel lucky to have a dad that was willing to teach me the trades. Well, after I got out of college, I married the love of my life, a lady named Phyllis Stollard. We were married on July 2nd of 1935. When World War II broke out, I ended up going to work over at the Hawthorne Naval Ammunition Depot, where I was able to use my blacksmithing skills, my engineering expertise, and we made stuff for the war effort. And I was very proud to do that, very proud. After the war ended, I came back here and I ended up running the blacksmith shop here in Yerington from 1949 to 1962. And I was always proud to be a key part of this community. In fact, for a while, I worked as the city engineer, and also I served on the city council. Now, before I send you off to the next stop on this tour, which is the country store, I wanted to recite a bit of poetry. It's from a poem that's always been my favorite, because it really describes the blacksmithing business. And it's called The Village Blacksmith, and it was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it goes like this. Week in, week out, from morn to night, you can hear his billows blow. You can hear his billows blow. You can hear him swing his heavy sledge with measured beat and slow, like the sexton ringing the village bell when the evening sun is low. And the children rushing home from school look through the open door. They love to see the flaming forge and hear the billows blow and catch the burning sparks that fly like chaff from the threshing floor. I've always loved that poem because it really describes the blacksmithing business. Now, we're gonna send you off to the next stop on this tour, and you keep your eyes and ears open over there. We don't have any spirits in here. It's too damn hot and smoky in here. I don't think the spirits like it here. But that place over there has got something going on. And oh, get awake over there. Thanks for stopping in. If you're by this way again.
Well, folks, it's nice to have you come in. Come on in. Is a mercantile or a general store. General store because we carry everything from snowshoes to hats, bonnets for ladies so that you can keep up your appearances. I sell medicines. I make medicines. I have to have a knowledge of the flowers that go into them or the minerals. Some of them are, I have to cheat a little bit here. Black cohosh for hot flashes, dandelions for liver and kidneys. We also create minerals, mercury, arsenic, cocaine are some of them. There's a preparation called Wimples, and it is a tonic that stimulates and made from cod liver oil, malt, wild cherry flavor, but it also contains strychnine and 12% alcohol. Most of the medicines did have alcohol in them. That was a big draw, not necessarily what they were good for, but because the people could buy it and get alcohol. Anyway, I want to... Herbals, yes. Yes, very good. I didn't know that. So I learned something too. Now we have we have a new acquisition that we're ready to sell. We've got this wonderful wash machine over here in the corner. You've no more hitting rocks and no more wringing out by hand. You can just put your clothes in there, you crank it and it agitates, and then you have to run it through the wringer. Just remember, when you're running your bloomers through the wringer, start with the top, because if you don't, you'll get one leg going this way and one leg going this way. I tore my granny's pantaloons. She was very upset. And then she thought about it and she started laughing. And by the way, that is a true story. So just have a look around. You can see we carry spices, we carry dairy products, we carry toasters, clear down to the
Notice
everything.
the bottles over there have Yerington Dairy
Yes,
from them.
they do.
So some of those are from Yerington. Do any of you remember what this thing is over here?
The cream separator?
Yes, it's a cream separator. I'm from a farm in Wyoming, and my aunt and uncle across the road had cows, about three cows, and they milked, and my aunt would have to do that morning and night.
Yes.
Hers was an electric one, this was an older one, but morning and night she'd have to separate that milk from the cream from the milk, and then she'd sell the cream for more money. They kept 3 cows, they had 4 sons, and the idea was to keep the boys busy. So the day the youngest boy graduated, I mean that summer that he graduated, the cows were gone. And my aunt was relieved of some of her duties.
Another purpose of the general store was people could come in and they could socialize. Most of them had a potbelly stove. They're in the winter and they could sit down and play checkers or just visit. But that's a way to keep up with your neighbors, because your neighbors were miles apart. So, do you have any questions? I may be or maybe not be able to answer them.
Let's see, do you see anything else that you remember?
Oh my goodness.
It's a bear. Right, and then if you,
It's a black bear, but it's brown.
yeah, they call it black bears, but it's brown. And if you go up here,
Mountain lion.
mountain lion. I hope we still have some mountain lions.
We do.
That's good.
Yeah, we do.
So, I don't think the paranormal people even came into
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not that big.
They didn't come into the natural history museum.
Bigger ones.
Or this,
There's too many animal spirits.
too many animal spirits.
Yeah.
But I think it's nice to think that when we close up at night,
Even when
there
it's
could be
like,
some movement.
what's the word? Even when it's not alive, it's still creepy. Oh, there's one right there too. It's got its mouth open. There's a hornet.
Never see the bad.
This is the natural history portion of the Lyon County Museum.
The badger? Yeah. Live from a badger.
I think they're
No,
kind of
live
trying
from a
to
badger.
hurry us along.
Or up this.
We just recently got this from a lady, which has nothing really to do with our, most of these shells came from Mexico.
Oh,
But it was such a beautiful display. Okay, we
this
ready?
is Heather Wharton, our tour guide today. Thank you, Heather.